Right now on KION at 5, the FBI is the lead agency investigating a bank robbery just outside of Carmel by the Sea. Plus, multiple cars reported stuck in the floodwaters here on the Central Coast as agencies work quickly to restore power and get people up and running once again with that power. And also, we are just one day away from children getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
This is KION Newschannel 546 at 5.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Phil Aldridge. Veronica has the night off. We have live team coverage for you tonight following the weekend storms. We'll hear from KION's Lisa Principe and Jonathan Sarabia about how the weather is affecting Santa Cruz and Monterey counties. But first, let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. He's talking about that substantial storm, the weather system we had over the weekend, but there's breaking news of an earthquake, right, Dan?
Yeah, Phil, we had an earthquake in San Luis Obispo County just about 15 minutes ago, 4.7 magnitude, so a little bit of a bigger one than we're used to, the small little shakers here on the Central Coast. So this happened right at 4:42 p.m., so just about 15 minutes ago, magnitude 4.7, which was quickly followed by an aftershock of 3.6 at the same place. This is just south of the Monterey County line, and a very shallow earthquake at a depth of only 3 miles. So the exact location of this is about 1 mile east of Ragged Point, which is just north of the just south of the San Luis Obispo County line, or about 10 miles southeast of Gorda down on the Big Sur coast, or about 31 miles southwest of King City. Some reports already filtering in of people feeling this from Paso Robles up all the way to the Monterey Peninsula. So if you felt something shaking about 15 minutes ago, it was a 4.7 magnitude earthquake, somewhat of a bigger earthquake than the little ones that we are used to along the San Andreas Fault. This along the San Simeon Fault zone, not too far away from the Hearst Castle area, just to give you some perspective there. Of course, we'll keep an eye on any other aftershocks from this earthquake. But yes, we had a storm this weekend, Phil. And just looking at some of the recap of the weather from this storm, we had quite a bit of wind with it. Take a look at some of these maximum wind gusts. Mount Umunum and the Santa Cruz Mountains, an 88-mile-per-hour wind gust. That is well above hurricane strength. Santa Rita Peak, the gustiest place in San Benito County at 62 miles per hour. Old Coast Tower in Monterey County along the Big Sur coast at 61 miles per hour. And then somewhat more populated places, the Ormsby Cutoff in the Santa Cruz Mountains. I know some folks live up in that area. 56. Pebble Beach, 51 miles per hour gusts. Santa Cruz, 50 mile per hour at Younger Lagoon. And then we also had gusts around 40 miles per hour in Salinas. So we did see scattered trees down from the Monterey Peninsula to Santa Cruz County. A few here and there outside of those areas, but they were certainly the hardest areas hit. As for the rain, here are some preliminary totals. Mining Ridge in Monterey County on the Big Sur coast, over a foot of rain. Lehigh Park in the Santa Cruz Mountains up at the end of Vampire Grade, over 10 inches of rain. And now some of the cities, Ben Lomond, Boulder Creek, and Bonnie Doon, over 6 inches of rain. And at the side, Highway 17, I should say over 8 inches of rain, close to that as well. Some of the bigger cities now, Santa Cruz just shy of 5 inches of rain, 4 inches in Watsonville, Gilroy almost 4 inches of rain, Monterey and Hollister over 2 inches of rain, and Salinas at 1.63 inches of rain. Now, a lot of these totals less than the 3-day totals we had back in January from that atmospheric river that really took a long time swashing back and forth across the region. I think some of the rainfall rates this time around were heavier due to the fact that this was just a deeper river of moisture, although it only went by once, and I guess we could be thankful for that. As for the impacts beyond this, we may see some drought reduction in the future. We can talk about that later on in the week, but moving ahead, we have more things to talk about in the forecast. It's coming up in a bit.
All right, thanks for that, Dan.
You bet.
Well, we're still feeling the remnants of the storm over the weekend. A high surf warning is in effect until Tuesday morning here on the Central Coast. 20-foot waves are expected this week with strong rip currents. KION's Jonathan Sarabia talked with residents on the peninsula and a U.S. Coast Guard officer stationed in Monterey about the conditions. Hey, Jonathan.
Phil, I spoke to people who come to the beach almost every day to admire the beautiful ocean we have here on the Central Coast. But they say they haven't seen any waves like the ones right behind me in a while. The U.S. Coast Guard station in Monterey says they usually have a person in the water case at least once a week. But they say this week there's an increased danger for everyone who visits the beach, especially for those who are not familiar with the beaches on the Central Coast. The Coast Guard says there is an increased danger because of the storm we just witnessed and because summer beach gradients are still kind of shallow from the calm summers, which is why they say it's important for people to stay away from the ocean as much as possible.
We have a high potential for sneaker waves and rip currents. It doesn't matter how strong of a swimmer you are. Knee-deep water will take you off your feet, and then the subsequent rip current will drag you out to sea. It does not matter how strong of a swimmer you are. With the turbulent water and the coldness, you quickly become incapacitated.
The Coast Guard says they have crews on 24-hour standby, which includes a motor lifeboat crew and a Coast Guard helicopter on standby in San Francisco. Phil, as of now, the U.S. Coast Guard has not had any reports of any water rescues, but they actually are using this opportunity to be able to train in severe weather. Reporting live in Monterey, Jonathan Sarabia, KION News, Channel 546.
Okay, thanks, Jonathan. We're continuing to track multiple power outages across the Central Coast tonight, caused by downed trees falling on those power lines. Outages across much of Santa Cruz County in particular. Soledad and Monterey County saw more than 1,000 PG&E customers without electricity throughout much of today. But that number has gone down significantly. Pebble Beach also reported some weather-related outages. Monterey County Regional Fire said they had to tow multiple cars that were stuck in the floodwaters today. This includes Hartnell and Alisal Road, which had to be closed to drivers for hours. Monterey County Regional Fire said they pulled 6 cars that got stuck early this morning. No one was injured in those incidents. California and the Pacific Northwest are being hit with one of the strongest storms ever recorded in the region, leaving behind floods, mudslides, and tens and thousands of people without electricity. Laura Podesta has the latest on the severe weather, which is already being blamed for 2 deaths.
Northern California inundated with water overnight as the Pacific Northwest gets hit with what meteorologists call a bomb cyclone, a rapidly developing storm that produces strong winds and massive rainfall. The National Weather Service in Sacramento is reporting the city saw more than 5 inches of rain in 24 hours, breaking a record that stood since 1880.
Mudslides and flash floods, that moisture fire hose, this atmospheric river's a 5 out of 5, slamming into Central California.
Take a look at this landslide covering the highway in Plumas County. Recent rains have helped to battle wildfires, but those fires killed off vegetation, making areas prone to flash flooding and debris flow. Downed lines like these that caught fire in San Mateo County, California, have left tens of thousands without power. This man in Seattle describes a storm that turned daytime into night.
It did shake the trees a lot, and there was a lot of wind, a lot of rain, a lot of hail, and the clouds were really, really black.
It's unclear how big of a bite, if much at all, the rain will take out of the drought hitting the West Coast. California's 2021 water year, which ended September 30th, was the second driest on record, the driest in more than 100 years. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Okay, and those people who were forced from their homes by the Alisal fire are now under a new evacuation order today. Santa Barbara officials warned there could be flooding and debris flow this afternoon. The National Weather Service was issued an advisory for roadway flooding and possible minor debris flow in the area. The Alisal burn scar has a potential for significant debris flow, though evacuation orders below the burn scar were lifted this afternoon. The Alisal fire started October 11th northwest of Santa Barbara. The fire has burned nearly 17,000 acres and is 97% contained. For anyone visiting Waddell Beach today, don't go chasing waterfalls. That's what CAL FIRE CZU tweeted out with this video today. It was shot on Highway 1 in Santa Cruz County, about half a mile south of the San Mateo County line. 2 of Monterey County's parks are closed today because of the stormy weather over the weekend. Jacks Peak Park is closed due to high winds and debris on the roads and trails. And portions of San Lorenzo Park are also closed. This because of urban flooding in the impacted drainage structure. Those areas will remain closed while cleanup and dewatering is underway. Storm damage has been reported all across the Central Coast, especially in Santa Cruz County. PG&E crews are working to restore power to thousands of customers. There are plenty of huge trees that have fallen across the county, including massive trees that snap power lines on Glen Canyon Road near Branciforte. Another tree fell on a home in Scotts Valley. P&G says crews are working to restore power to almost 200 homes today across the region.
Some trees fell, very windy, rustling leaves.
A massive storm causing damage all across Santa Cruz County. I took a drive from Scotts Valley through Boulder Creek to survey some of that damage after Sunday night's storm. This massive tree fell right into this home in Scotts Valley on Tabor Way Sunday evening. The homeowners tell me there was significant damage to their kitchen, but thankfully no one was hurt.
Large tree that had split a house in half, and the remaining section had also impacted another residence. Wires were down, so fire responded immediately. The whole street is out of commission for a little bit.
This power pole was leaning from the impact. Crews have to take down all of the tree before PG&E crews can get back in to fix the power lines.
We have about 200 outages that are remaining, and we are prioritizing those who have had the longest duration.
In Boulder Creek, another huge tree came down up Scenic Way, and 2 power poles were snapped by the impact of this tree on Glen Canyon Road. PG&E says power might not be restored until Tuesday. Caleb, who lives in Santa Cruz, also lost power when a tree fell into his neighbor's yard.
Right as the power went out, the people next door, they came over and they're like, because it went right in front of the house. We're like, they said, oh shoot, there's a tree, just crashed right on the road in front of us. We're all in the living room, whatever, and we just heard it and we all freaked out.
Lisa Principe reporting. Now, P&G is asking people to be patient while their crews work to restore that power, and they're working on it round the clock to get everybody juice once again. Well, the FBI is taking the lead on a bank robbery investigation in Carmel by the Sea. Authorities confirmed the robbery at a Chase Bank on Carmel Rancho Lane at around 9:30 this morning. Their investigation continued in the afternoon, but authorities would not provide information on that crime. We're waiting to hear if there are any injuries and what, if anything, was stolen from that bank. Well, coming up, millions of children might soon be eligible to receive their lower dose of the COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine. When we could see approval from the FDA and the CDC. And the clock is ticking closer to President Biden's self-imposed deadline to pass his Build Back Better legislative agenda. And we have more details coming up from the accidental shooting on the set of Alec Baldwin's movie. What a search warrant revealed about conditions on that set.
Get the app, get the alert. Know about severe weather in your area with the KION Weather Authority.